What's up, guys? It's Lefty here, and we are talking baseball. The 2023 season is right around the corner. There's a lot of different angles we can look at to hopefully give us an edge betting this season. If you follow baseball, you're likely aware of some of the different rule changes taking place in MLB this season. The shift ban, the pitch clock are big talking points, but I'm not sure they're going to matter too much from a betting perspective. In this video, I'm here to discuss some topics that I think will absolutely matter when it comes to betting, and hopefully this video will have us all prepared to take advantage of these changes. Now, let's get right into it. The first topic is something that Major League Baseball doesn't like to talk about all that much, and it's the actual ball itself. It's probably the most important factor of any recent MLB season, and the numbers clearly show it. If we look here on the screen, starting back in 2014, teams scored 4.07 runs per game and hit 0.86 home runs per game. 2017 went up to 4.65 runs per game and then 1.26 home runs per game. 2019 shattered the previous home run record, having almost 1.5 home runs per game and then 4.83 runs per game. Last season, baseball introduced what's been called the dead ball, and then we saw a dip in the numbers with a 4.28 runs per game and 1.07 home runs per game. It's safe to say the ball makes a huge difference, and in my opinion, the difference in run production in these years has everything to do with the ball. The batter-pitcher talent level hasn't changed that much between 2014 and 2022 to have that big of a home run disparity year to year. I mean, we're talking about almost a 20% change in run scoring due to the ball difference and a 50% change in home run differential. But here's the problem this season. We know the ball makes a difference, but we have no idea what type of ball is going to be in play this season. And even if we did, we wouldn't know if it stay the same ball like week to week or even game to game. So how do we approach this? I think the best way is to kind of take a wait and see approach, at least with betting totals. For now, I'm going to be using last year as a baseline for my projections and use an average of the last 3 years and assume that the Goldilocks ball will be the main ball used. The Goldilocks ball was identified in an off-season report done by Insider.com. For anyone who didn't read this report, I'll link it in the description of this video. It's a really good in-depth report. But in the summary, the Goldilocks ball is the middle ball between the dead ball and the juice ball. It's much livelier than the dead ball, but not juiced to the levels we saw 2 seasons ago. The reason I believe this is going to be the main ball used is because the study showed that this ball was used in certain games last year where new, like non-Prezen made balls were used, such as like commemorative balls for special games or whatever, the home run derby. This ball was actually found in Yankees and Cardinals games too. And this is the ball they used in the postseason. So I think the Goldilocks ball is like the newest ball produced that was used last season. And I think that'll reflect the current manufacturing settings for the ball maybe. So I think that's the ball we see most likely. So if I'm right and that's the case, I think we're looking at somewhere between the last 2 seasons. I'm projecting 1.15 home runs per game and about 4.4 runs per game. I think MLB is going to want a slight uptick in runs compared to last season as well. They're going to want more runs due to the other rule changes implemented. This way they can kind of praise the shift ban and the pitch clock as having an impact on offense, and they'll be able to point to it for the increased run scoring as proof. But it's the ball that makes a difference. It's always the ball that makes a difference. Now, the next topic to discuss that I think will impact betting is park changes. There's a few park dimensions changes this year, but the only one I think is relevant, or I should say the only one I'm looking at to take advantage of betting is in Toronto at the Rogers Center. The park adjustments made here give an advantage to the offense, and I think it could be pretty dramatic. You know, Toronto's already a home run park, or like they're a home run team, but now they pulling the fences in even more in the gap in right field and left center power alley. I don't see it slowing down their production. Of course, we're not talking about like Coors Field hitter friendly type park here, but I do think Toronto is going to become close to like the launching pad we've seen in Cincy at Great America Ballpark. So for my projections, I'm bumping up all the Toronto Blue Jays bats a few spots, and I'm moving down all the arms pitching there. Down a little. So until I see otherwise, I'm going to be a little down on like Gosman, Bassett, and Manoah, but I'll be high on the Jays lineup with like Vlad, Bichette, Varsho, and Springer, and those guys. And what's good here is like the park changes like aren't always factored into the numbers right away. We might have like a month or 5 weeks of exploiting this. So it's definitely something we might be able to squeeze an edge on. There's some other park changes. In Detroit is one, then Citi Field where the Mets play as well, but they're not significant enough, in my opinion, to warrant any like major adjustments. But it's important to just be aware of. Camden Yards is another park that underwent a change last year in the left center power alley. They raised the wall and pushed it back. We'll likely see that change continue to show itself a little bit more this year. The next topic that is worth mentioning, I think, is the schedule changes. And I'll be weighing my betting on this as far as like regular season win totals or, divisional futures. MLB moved 19 divisional games to now 13 divisional games this season. Depending on the team and the division, this could play like a small role in win expectancy. A team like the White Sox, they're going to lose games against teams like the Royals and Tigers, which I'm sure they don't want. But then again, they're going to lose games against the Twins and Indians, who are like above average teams. So it might all even itself out. But with this schedule change, some teams will definitely benefit more than others. What sucks for me is I have a lot of divisional game-based subsets and systems that I look to bet on. So I'm going to have less game matches there is unfortunate. But I guess from a fan perspective, seeing every team play each other is cool too. Now, another interesting change this season is bigger bases. They've which I'll be honest, I'm not sure how this is going to really impact the games, if at all. Bigger bases maybe means more stolen bases or less pickoffs, but I'm not entirely sure. It might give base runners more confidence to try and steal, which could add to like the run environment in games. But last topic are the two changes I mentioned in the intro. With the pitch clock and the introduction of the ban on defensive shifts, I'm sure we've heard a lot about these topics already, and we'll continue to hear about them in the coming weeks. Both matter, but both don't matter as much as I think they'll be talked about. And they only matter to a few players. Like the pitch clock might matter to a few pitchers who need time to rest in between pitches or who can't handle it mentally being on a countdown, might see like more free bases awarded due to balks because pitchers can't disengage from the rubber more than 2 times per at bat. This is definitely going to push the pace of play. Some of these pitchers move way too slow, and only good things can come from keeping batters in the box between pitches and limiting pickoff attempts. But it'll definitely matter for the length of game times, that's for sure, but don't think it's going to matter much from a numbers performance standpoint in any significant way. Now, the shift band might add, 5 or 10 hits this season to hitters like Matt Olson, Freddie Freeman, or like, I don't know, Corey Seager or something. But the shift band in reality probably only matters for a total of like 10 to 15 left-handed hitters in the league. Betting baseball is just such a grind. It's a daily sport with a quick turnaround. It's a long season, and you could easily make like 300 or 400 bets this season. So all the like little edges count. You're talking about a sample size that big. Every half run on over-unders makes a difference. Every 5 cents on money lines can make a difference. The edges we gain are so small, but every new season brings certain changes, some drastic, some minor, and these changes can create opportunities that can give us an edge in sports betting. Now, it's tough to know exactly how to exploit these changes. Maybe it's blindly betting overs when Toronto's at home, or betting against pitchers who are clearly like mentally flustered being on a shot clock. But the point is, the better we're prepared for these possibilities, the better we'll be able to take advantage of them quickly when the time comes. Hopefully you guys found this video helpful or entertaining. And if you did, would you do me a favor and like this video, or maybe make a comment? It will help me out a lot. And make sure to subscribe too, because I'll be doing a lot more videos like this throughout the season. But until next time, good luck with your bets. And as always, may all the calls and all the fly balls go your way.